But yeah, so I think I like these two, and yeah, I think it's pretty cool. So we're gonna keep these, and I'm gonna leave it in here just like this. And let's go take a look and see what else we might already have in here for our ours here. Now the other one that I have is for healing. And so we could even just borrow what we just did, but apply it to healing. So let's just take a look here. Make the tab, and let's take a look at what we got here. So I actually don't have a prereq, but we would need to have that. Because again, you're not going to be using any magic unless you have some sort of entity. And when I talk about magic, I'm talking about all sources of magic. So whether it's divine, someone's praying to a god, or nature based, or someone's got a link like they're a king, they're bending reality to their will. Right now, everything is just personal. All right, so here with magical healing, you have become more potent with loading healing spells. As such, with healing with spells, you are now able to cure an additional light wound. And this is also something that I had in the older version of the tabletop book. Was instead of having a hit point pool, you would have the kind of like slots for a certain amount of wounds that you can take, and it was kind of grouped into you could take 3 light wounds, and then maybe you could take 2 moderate wounds, and then you can only take like 1 severe wound, and then during combat, someone would deliver a different type of wound to you, but there's light, moderate, or severe. And then once you've exhausted this, now you're going to be unconscious. But I scrapped all that. So anyway, we can take a look at what we're going to do here. So you're more part of healing your casting healing spell. So I really just think that the same thing that we can do here, hard magic damage, we would actually just take this and pasta. And I actually didn't have part in here, did I? I just wrote right what I had. Yes, I had a benefit. You have become. Okay. So, alright, so that's like dealing damage with your spells. And then you can borrow the language that we just used a second ago. Damaging spells. Healing with your spells. Yeah, and say select one. Okay, so reroll the lowest die for your hit points you're going to heal somebody for. Alright. Aspect. And then we have here exploding dice. So being able to expand the ability of your actual numerical value of your dice rolls to help people listen up to people. So that's pretty cool. So that was actually kind of a nice freebie that we can take damage from healing to be very similar. So we'll just kind of move right on past that. And that was it. That was all I had initially when I was brainstorming art forms. Kind of going like musical magic, which doesn't really have very much in it. And let's see here, we got ranged melee. We have some generic ones. One of my favorite ones here is the art of Leroy Jenkins. Let you get the combat master. You gotta love your memes and your gaming history stuff in here. It's awesome. So yeah. Alright, let me think here about what else you might want to create and add in here to give something a little bit more when it comes to doing magic spells. And I know that just move this over here. This can be like my keep sheet. And then just keep working on this from scratch. I know that I'm going to have to come up with something for someone who wants to be more of your strategic caster. someone who wants to shape the battlefield, and maybe they want to have parts of the earth fall away and create a bridge between you and your enemies. So instead of having them all rush forward and then on the battlefield, you're now focusing them on a conflict, and the tank character in front there is kind of holding my back. So that would be shaping the battlefield, or maybe you want to put like pools of grease everywhere or oil. And then set the fireball on that a little later and just cause super chaos there. But that always nice. Does great damage to the oil. So I want to have something in there for someone who is going to shape the battlefield. Not quite sure how I want to do that just yet because I need to get my base down for how I'm doing certain magical effects. I might have to just annotate that one. Yes, we're just gonna have a table in that, and I have a brainstorm sheet that I have open where I make little notes like this, so that way whenever I get something, it's put on the sheet so I don't forget about it. So take this out, and I'll write a little blurb here real quick. Captain strategy, or probably a better name later. And then, of course, it represents depth. And a little note here, actually collect that more. Provide a bonus or boon to a strategic caster. Something to give them mana back, or give them the ability to shape the battlefield at the start of their turn. Make something free. Just make it that official effect off. That's actually a pretty good idea. Or I could even give them a bonus to pull that spell off, because even though you're not slinging a spell at somebody, the way magic works in my world is, in order for you to cast a spell, and this is all spells, you have to fight against reality, and that is who you compete against whenever you draw cards. You have to take a look at what your depth attribute is, as well as what rank of magic ability you have to create or destroy, control, whatever magical effect you're doing. And you have to compete against reality. So check against reality. If you pull it off, then you get to shape reality to your will. What this is you're trying to do. And if you fail, then it's not going to be very pleasant. So there might be some odd things that happen. It could be, something that is just like, oh, your spell fizzles. That's a common thing you see. Various things. I think even EverQuest has something like where you fail to cast a spell every once in a while, like your spell fizzles. You keep trying to cast and get better at casting spells. So that would be like the most non-detrimental effect that I can think of if you fail against reality for your spell. But the whole opposite side of the spectrum is maybe I'm trying to cast the largest fireball that anyone's ever seen, outside my skill ability. So if that fails, I'm probably going to engulf myself in flames. Maybe I could even die. So, yeah, so I probably will have something in there for spellcaster where they do better get. I think I already did that. And I don't know, there could be something in there like dire straits. Maybe if you're facing a party like or something like that, maybe we could put something in there. It'd be very situational, but it might be something kind of neat as well. So kind of gotta think about that. Alright, so I think that's some of the ones that I wanted to do magic. I do want to kind of branch out most combat stuff here. It's not just magic. And so take a look at another one of these here. Let's take a look at some of my ranged combat, because I recently finished off ranged combat not too long ago. And yeah, so I already talked a little bit about the keen sight on my blog. And then we've got an art of sniping. So this would actually be something I need to kind of review here and make sure this is still something that makes sense with the way combat is now. So we've got things here. We've got range of bow or crossbow is increased by 3 squares. So every square is 5 feet. So this gives the person more range on their weapon. But again, we have prereqs. Most of the art forms do have prereqs. Kind of like intro or beginner ones don't. This you have to have 4 feet, and you have to have 4 combat prowess and ranged weaponry. So you gotta be pretty decent. This is gonna come off your starting attributes, so you gotta have some strength there. Benefits: you do not take a penalty to range attacks outside the range of your bow or crossbow as long as the target is within 5 squares of your max range. So we're talking like you get an additional 3 squares, but your target can still be 1 additional square behind that. And you would not incur a penalty on that shot. So I think that's actually pretty good. That's going to give someone who is ranged weapon user, a bow user, switching archery, going to allow them to have a little more range on the battlefield. So, if someone happens to be hiding back, if you have like a caster hiding back, and your DPS is going to get out there in time. Your tank or your rogue, get out there, break the rank, get back to the caster. So your archer could, in theory, pinpoint and get in position a lot easier if they had a sniping art form that lets them actually target the person that's hiding in shadows. But I don't think I'm going to change this. I actually kind of like this. And it doesn't really be updated or changed. Alright, let's take a look here. We got point blank shot, pretty standard, and then that's pretty much it. So definitely want to add in, much like we did with casters, the ability to fine tune your damage. Archers are a little more interesting though, because a magic user, when they go to make their spell and they throw that sucker down there or touch somebody, maybe it's just like a shock spell, just touch somebody. They're rolling all their damage right then and there. That one event is going to get however many damage rank they put in their spell, whatever they're able to do at their rank that they have. An archer, on the other hand, their damage is actually linked to each individual arrow. And each arrow, depending on how proficient you are with using bows, you're actually going to be able to lose 4 arrows over time. So starting off might be shoot 2 arrows. But what ends up happening is, as you get more proficient with using your bow, you're now able to fire off more than 1 arrow. Maybe you're up like shooting off to 4 arrows. And I watched a really awesome video not too long ago of a gentleman who speaks Danish or Dutch. But if you ever get a chance, go hit up YouTube, type in Lars Anderson, A-N-D-E-R-S-N, and he has taken his time to kind of like relearn and research the ancient, when I say ancient, I'm talking like back in medieval times, Persian stuff, how they were using bows and drawings from medieval archers and stuff. And one of the surprising things is, in all the pictures, you never see anybody using a freaking back quiver. That's a Hollywood thing, where you reach back and you pull out an arrow from the quiver. Every one of these pictures just has the archers. They're standing there. There's the bow, and they have their arrows right there in their hand. And that is what they're doing. They're holding like arrows in between each of their fingers, and so they're just holding them in their hand. And what that allows them to do, instead of, you watch Lord of the Rings, like, let's see, he reaches back, he pulls the arrow. Look how many motions this is. I reach back, grab an arrow, I come up, I put it into my bow, draw my string, and then I fire. But what they do in the back in the day is this whole back quiver thing is not there. Okay, they're just having arrows in their hand. They already have like 4 arrows. They can even double them up, so you can have 8 arrows, and then they just load it right in. There's one motion, man. I load an arrow, I let go, I fire. Grab the next one, it's already in my hand. I just go ahead and knock it, pull back, boom. There goes the next one. And so this dude can actually shoot in like the span of 4.9 seconds. He can shoot 10 arrows. 10 arrows in 4.9 seconds. That's ridiculous. But it just goes to show you, we talked earlier about skills and how you develop. The more you put your mind in developing a skill. Talk about riding a bicycle. That's an example of someone who has taken archery to a new level. And that's what I would kind of deem as a grandmaster. There's not really going to be very many people in the world that are as good as that guy. And that's why he's famous. So I want to have archery in this game kind of take that same path. I've always been a fan of being able to just use more arrows. Make more sense. So magical user, all the damage goes up front, one event. Your archer, he's going to be pew 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 with many different arrows, but the arrows themselves aren't going to be high damage. An arrow is still going to be the same as like when you have an arrow at like level 1. Changes, instead of just firing 2 arrows, now you're firing 5 or 6 arrows, or 8 or 9. So an archer is going to be rolling a lot more dice. So we kind of think of things that either cut down on their dice rolling, or again, damage is one of those things that we already worked on after the wizard. We can take that same exact concept, spellcaster, and apply it to someone who's doing ranged combat. Talk about magical damage here. We can take this and say, for right now, let's call it arrow damage. And hope with fire arrows. Give a boost to arrows. So we will both die, or we could offer exploding dice here, which I think is perfectly fine. And is there anything else that I want to or we could cut down. I like the loosen mini arrows. It's going to be a lot more dice. Because D4s, people don't typically have a lot of D4s. So what's probably going to end up happening if I keep arrows in D4s is someone's going to have to roll a D4, pick it back up, roll it again, pick it back up, roll it again. Whereas if I did D6 is a lot more common of a die, as pretty much your standard die that most people are super familiar with. Your Yahtzee, Monopoly, Risk, those are all. I think I might still have to keep the D4s if I'm or we can cut this number down and then upgrade the dice. So what I mean by that is someone has, let's say you have, I don't know, rank 4 in archery. Probably be a good idea to start. So rank 4 in archery. And kind of give you the scale. The scale goes from 1 to 6. At 6, you're Grandmaster level here. So Grandmaster 6, 1 can actually get off 2 arrows right now if they have their character built for it. So this is someone who is specifically gunning for being an archer. At level 1, they will be able to use 2 arrows. So level 1, okay, is 2 arrows. And I'm going to have to think about how I want to do the additional ranks. There, that's a little better. So level 1 gets 2. And I really should say rank. Rank there, not just level 1, because this is a skill-based game. More on your skill ranks than it is your actual character level. So back here, put rank 1 is 2 arrows. If we were to do something linear, and just went with rank 2, now you get 3 arrows, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7 arrows. Okay, so we're just gonna take rank all the way down. So this right here, if you want to take a look at from a damage perspective, if I keep this at arrow is a d4 damage. So this would be 2d4 right here, and then of course we just have 3d4, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 2d4 here, we're looking at 8, and 12, 24, and 8. That's pretty significant. So this will be our max roll. And this is if we didn't have any explosions. We were just taking a look at 2d4 here. Okay, what actually back up and change this. Not 2d4 for every arrow. It is 1d4 for every. So these values are actually on the shrink. That's one of the things that I'm trying to keep up in this game is not have super high damage numbers. I don't want a dice bloat. This right here, this is kind of dice bloat, but we're actually going to be dropping it down here. So, actually, erase that. Yeah, rank 1, 2 arrows, 2. Yes, we're just kind of playing on the linear side. But yeah, this is okay. And then each arrow is d4. Yeah, I will unwrite that. Man, I need to drink the coffee that I have. That's what I need to be doing. Caffeine, man. I need to improve the brain. Alright, so we're looking at a max game. And just for here, our worst roll will be 2, 3, 5, 7. So this is our scale that we have. It's just multiple times 4. So this is 5 by 4. So if we look at this, we look at hero damage, we definitely give a boost by, again, still doing these things here. Okay, we can reroll our lowest die. That would take our minimum. All this would go up by 1. So now it's 2, you're looking at 3, so that's looking at 8. And the exploding dice, anytime we have 4 on our roll, we could add bonus damage on that. But the other thought I had is, when we're talking about an archer, we're talking about now we have a master archer, rank 6. He or she is going to be taking 7 different arrows downwind to put holes in them. That's a lot of dice rolls. So what I could do is take a look at some alternative damage numbers and shrink up how many dice you're going to be rolling if they pick up this archer. So let's see what we can think about to accomplish that. Because it's a very interesting concept here. So these are obviously still okay, but it doesn't help you with the problem of shrinking it up a little bit. And grab my Firefox here, and might be using anydice.com. If I want to see how something can turn out with dice instead of simulating on dice rolls on the desk, or sorry, actually rolling on the numbers, we can just take a look at here and say, hey, show me 2d4, and calculate here and give me probability of each roll. This comes pretty easy with being able to kind of like guesstimate. It's also science probability math. So let's see here. We have our min or max range here. And you know right now this is all the scale is times 4. So 2 times 4 is 8, 3 times 4 is 12. So this gives me that's 4 times better. That's the spread. So here this is 21 points, and up to this level is 6 points. So this that 9, so that's 1 and 5, 3, and 3 go. Or no, 6, 1, 5. Oh yeah, it's 10. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's so my my computer writing goes to the mouse are not the best. My audio is weird. So yeah, you get to see me be nerdy and talk about my tabletop system. Figured this would be kind of interesting to stream. It's much better. Great, great. I'm glad because I don't want to be sounding like a tin can. I did not get a new microphone so I can sound like a tin can. And I have to figure out what I'm gonna do about my chat on backgrounds like this. But anywho, all right. Let's see. Well, it's the same one. It's the Blue Yeti that I've been using. But yeah, I got that for streaming. You know, otherwise I was using my headset boom microphone right here, which is around here somewhere. So you know, worst case scenario, I could always just go back to using that. But yeah, the Blue Yeti, it's right up here. Yeah. No, you're the one who got a new microphone, so I get to be jelly of you. Ha ha. You gotta let me know how that's going too. You haven't, you know, your internet's been on the fritz, so I haven't got a chance to like watch your stream. I haven't gotten my Damien studio time, man. Okay, so how can I don't really mind this section. This is okay. You know, someone rolling 4d4. Oh, you still got to get the boom arm. Okay. So yeah, rolling 4d4. That's not a big deal. You could probably borrow some d4s from someone at the table, or if you have two, you could just pick it up and roll them again. So this isn't bad, but I kind of get dice bloat here with when I start branching out and we're looking here. This to me is a little excessive, and we're looking at anywhere from 15 to 21. And we've got essentially have 5 to 28. 5 to 28. And we're looking at 7d4. 5d4 to 7d4. 5 to 28. So this is almost 6. So if I step it up to a d6, we could do they would get an advantage of 1, but we're talking about giving people more arrow damage, so that actually kind of works out. So if I take this to 6, and if it was only d6s that we're rolling, we would have 24 or 30, but we would still have 5 here. 5d6 will give us 30. You got something planned special for next week? Uh-oh. I saw you got, oh, birthday thing. I saw your message on Discord. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to write you in time when you wrote me directly. But then I saw in yours that you had put out a little birthday thing. So I thought that was kind of cool. So I'm assuming you're talking about that. Yeah, I did see it. Yep. Yeah. Happy early birthday, I suppose. I guess I will just wait till it's closer to your birthday to say happy birthday. But just in case, I said it early. So let's see. So we're talking about rolling 5 dice. We don't go up to 7. We give someone the option of doing 5d6. So 5d6. And if we look at outputting 5d6, let's take a look at what this actually looks like compared to someone who's rolling d4s. So it's a bell curve distribution, which happens when you have at least 2 dice. And it looks like most of our average damage is going to be right in here, 10.03. So probably like 9 and 10 is our average here. So we'll just make a little note, kind of running out of, oh wait, I can scroll down. All right, so 9 to 10 is my average damage that I'm going to be outputting with a 5d6 roll. Okay, so here's my crappy mouse handwriting. Okay, so this is my average. And then if we're comparing to 7d4, which is what a Grandmaster would have initially, our distribution here is actually a little better. We're looking at having 13. So we have 11 that, well, that's decimal numbers. You really can't get partial. So we'll just say 12 to 13. So if I did this change, it actually wouldn't be more damage for someone. They'd be better off sticking with the 7d4s, which I'm trying to get away from. So let's see here. What was this again? 48. So if we had 48, our average is pretty much 8. We'll say 7 to 8. I'm keeping up with like documenting 2 different sets of numbers in there. So my average, if we increase the number of dice, 7 to 8 is now my average here. I'm really not liking this. And d4 to d8 is just essentially doubling the numbers on that same die. But this ends in an odd number. This is 7, not just 8, because I would need 2 d4s to be 1 d8. What if we did 5 d8 and I just rounded up? Gave them another one here. Yeah, so we're still right around like the 7s. I would probably need to use a higher facing dice with a lower number of dice to roll to give me a higher average number, and because the way this is tracking. So let's see, we're looking for 5 to 28. You know what? What if we did 3d10s? Just out of curiosity. 3d10 would give me 10 to 30. So we're raising our minimum damage. We're doubling our minimum damage. We're 2 above our max that we can get with 7 d4s. And if we look at the distribution here, we should end up with a lot higher average. Oh, no. Interesting. We're still pegged around 7. 7.5. Right there. So that would be, so let's see here, 3d10. Average is giving me 7. But we double our minimum damage, so that would help. A lot of this is, like this one here, we rolled the lowest die. And that's also something else to consider. If we did have an archer with a reroll on the lowest die with a D10 setup, they would get a chance to reroll that. I don't know why I put 10 there. This is actually a 1. Actually, no, it's 3. You got 1s on all your D10s. This would be 3 to 30. Huh. This is turning out to be rather interesting. Maybe what I'll do is have them roll fewer d4s but double it. If we cap it at 4 and we double this, we could get, I mean, it has potential being 8 d4s. My damage would be 4 here. It's essentially just be double this. So I'd have 8 to 32. Yeah. So maybe in this instance, to cut down on dice rolls, an archer would just roll double. I think that's probably going to be the best bet. Because even stepping the dice up, 5d6, we try 4d8s, we even go into branching up to d10s. The distribution is, the average distribution is not where I want it to be. 12 to 13 for 7d4s. This is actually kind of nice. Everything else is lower. I don't want to penalize someone for specializing and being an archer. On the contrary, we want to reward them for getting to this rank. Anything here in this game that's going to be like right here, this rank 4 or higher, this is where you're starting to get serious. There's probably going to be a lot of people that like to pick up like rank 1, maybe rank 2 or something, but you're generally not going to try to jump up to these unless you're actually, this is what you want your character to do. So I think I'm probably going to be safe if I say, prerequisite, let's say the art of arrow damage. We can keep this one in here, and we won't have a prereq. So we'll give someone who wants to be increased arrow damage, and we'll give this one like rank 1. And this is actually going to be one of the first ones that I have that actually has like a rank next to it. And so let's just grab this. And this is going to be number, actually, we're just going to take this here. And this will be number 2. And so you have to have a prereq of increased arrow damage 1. And we're going to say you need rank 4. Rank 4 with ranged, rank 4 with bows or crossbows. And so now you're looking at rank 4, and we're going to say, hey, you get double. And I'm going to have to make a note of this because this is something that I haven't done before in the system, so it could, as it is now, archers are going to get a power curve. They're going to be further on the power band than someone who is not an archer. Increased arrow damage 2. So we're looking at someone who already picked up rank 1, and they are at least rank 4. And what we're going to do is allow them to have double, let's see here, roll 44, double the result. And so that will now give me 8 to 32, this number here, and our average roll is 12 to 13. So if we're looking at 12 to 13, that's 24 to 26 when we double, which actually, that sounds pretty good. Kind of like how this ended up panning out. Had to do a lot of drawing on this one though. Gee whiz, magic users were cool. Archery got a little complicated because it's based on arrows, and what does damage as you get better is boosting more arrows. So this one was a fun mental exercise, if you will. So again, we'll have to kind of see how some of this pans out when we move into play testing. Now the thing here is someone might not pick this up right away. I mean, we already have this requirement and we have this requirement, and this says roll 4d4 and double the result. So what I might be kind of curious about is if obviously that kind of cuts out this whole 5, 6, and 7. So by the time you rank 4, you're already doing higher damage. So I'm not entirely happy with this, but I can't come up with an alternative right now. This is probably going to be something that I end up chewing on. You know, wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning and be like, oh my god, what am I going to do? That's what my brain does. Alright, so yeah, for now, 4d4 and double the result. Actually, let's see here. At rank 4, ranged combat, roll this. And then I can say at rank 5, ranged combat, and at rank 6. So if we segment this out, so this is rank 1, 2, and 3, 2 and 4. Rolling 4 dice is actually okay. Maybe we'll up this to rank 5, and because I don't mind someone rolling 4d4. You can take 2d4s and you can just pick them up and roll them again. That's not a big deal. But when we start getting up to like 7, it's crazy. So at rank 5, would have been 6. So we can say 3d4, and then when we get to rank 6 and we're a Grandmaster, then you can get the extra die roll that's actually going to take you beyond, although I think 3d4, that's rank 2, and 4, yeah, you still come out ahead on that too. So you still get a little extra damage on this because rank 2 is 3d4, but if we're doubling this, then it becomes 6d4, which I have plotted out here at rank 5. That's what you get that. Which I actually still meshes up. I probably need to roll 3d4. I don't want to get too complicated with instructions either, because this doesn't really give them any. This just cuts down on dice rolls. They're really not getting a damage increase. This is giving them a damage increase. They're getting an extra die in here, because it would have been 7d4s. Now they're getting a total of 8d4s. So I actually need to give them a little bit extra on this. What do I want to do? They're really going to like having something extra on this, but roll 3d4. We already have stuff in here that could have picked up for reroll lowest die, and then we have exploding dice that they might have grabbed. So what else can I do? Roll 3d4, double the result, and then what would be my average? This is just going to be a single dice. So this is just going to be 25% across the board. There is no, like, average. And 2d4, I think, was what? You get a 5. Roll 3d4, double the result, and add. That's going to be a bit much. Maybe I'll just give him half. You get a flat half of a d4. This is starting to get a good bit of player have to remember what their character does. Let's see. Instead of adding damage, let's make it more consistent. Reroll ones and twos. Double the result. So that would be. Someone who's only going to get 3s and 4s. So you're looking at 9. 9 to 12. That's 9 to 12. And this would be, if there wasn't any rerolling in here whatsoever, this is 4 to 16. This is too powerful. This is tricky, man. I didn't think archery was going to be this tricky when I got in here to thinking about how it's going to boost their damage. Maybe I'll let them explode. What do I have over here? Exploding dice. This is on 4s. But there's a cap on it. Maybe I'll take the cap off. Roll 3d4. 3d4. Oh no, if we explode and then we double the result, we're really going to end up with some crazy numbers. Roll 3d4. Double the result. And I think maybe I'll just stick with that add 2. You'll get the lower midpoint range just by 1. Double the result, add 2. Okay, I think we're going to leave that one here just like this. So 3d4, and we're looking at, what, 7 and 8? Yeah, 7 and 8. Seven and 8. So we double that, you're looking at what, 14 to 16, and then you're adding 2. So 16 to 20. So this gives me 16 to 20 on average. And then we have a 4d4, which I think I already wrote down here. 4 to 16, so it'd be 8 to 32. 3d4. How did I get it up this high? 3d4. This would be like 4. It should drop a lot. I think I doubled twice. 3d4. We're looking at 3 to 12 for my range. 6 and then add 2. So we're looking at 8 to, and then we have 12, 24, and 2. That's 26. So here we have 8 to 26, then you get 6 more points of damage cap at rank 6. Assuming we don't have anything exploding from a previous art. So this actually works out pretty decently. So we get our minimum up to 8, I'm fine. And then we get to 26, and then here we have 8 to 32. So I think that's actually pretty good. So yeah, increased aerial damage 2. So we kind of helped out our archers. And yeah. I feel like I should save this picture. And we'll just do new. Cool. That worked out pretty nice. The only way to fly safely. Haha. Alright, so let's take a look at what else we got here.